Good morning. Welcome to Wrexham versus Middlesbrough Trilogy, Part 2. My name is Steve Jones. This is Earguard Wrexham. We'll carry on after this. Well, I hope I find you well this morning as we take a look at the significant game Wrexham versus Middlesbrough Part 2. This was in the season 1999-2000, following on from a 2-1 win in the second round of the FA Cup at Rochdale, care of Neil Roberts and Craig Falconbridge. The infamous third round draw of the FA Cup paired us with the mighty Middlesbrough. This took place on Saturday the 11th of December 1999 at the racecourse. 11,755 were in attendance with 956 away, 3 p.m. kickoff. This is significant for me personally for two reasons. The first one, I was in horrendous trouble with my good lady because Saturday the 11th is her birthday. Well, I managed to navigate around that one quite successfully. But the second one, it's a little bit more convoluted. I had received it was a text message or an email or something. I had some contact from the club telling me that the team, as I'd mentioned in the last video, that defeated Borough in 73, I think it was, would be coming onto the pitch to be introduced to the faithful. Could I prepare for that as well? I'm on the PA at this one, by the way. So this is obviously the days before internet and everything else. So it was a case of doing the hard yards, getting books and everything else to get the history on the playing squad at the time, which I duly did. It took me about 3 days, all told. We don't realise how easy it is now with the wonders of the World Wide Web. But turned up at the game, and then commercial manager Alan Thomas came. Steve, have you done the players for me? Yeah, I've done that for you. Yeah, I've got it all ready to go. Right, give it to him. He's doing it. And so what you mean? He brought Steve Marriott, who was then a DJ. I think it would be on MFM or March or Sound, whatever. Said, yeah, give it to him. He's doing it. Said, what do you mean? Yeah. Said, Alan, I don't do other people's dirty work for them and can then just rip it to pieces. You can call it a petulant act. It could well have been. But to be humiliated like that in the middle of the tunnel in front of everybody, there's no way I was going to be treated like that. So a bit of a back and two went on for about 10 to 15 minutes. And in the end, for some, I decided myself that I would assist Steve, and I wrote in some stuff out. I know Steve himself wasn't happy with the position he'd been put in. And this caused me to step back for a little while in what I was doing for the club. I made 4 appointments to see Mr. Thomas to try and sort this situation out, and every time I turned up, having made an appointment, he wasn't there. And then in the end, other things came to light. Alan was relieved of his duties. I was asked to go in by Club Secretary David Rhodes, and we brushed it all over, all sorted out. But he did agree with me that I'd been shabbily treated. At that point, it was decided that Steve was going to come in. My late father, Des, who did the job alongside me, had decided he was going to retire, so Steve came in, and I didn't have a problem with that. So, the way it panned out in the end, Steve did the pre-match stuff, and I did the match stuff. So, that's the politics out the way. Going into this game, Brian Flynn had decided He was going to stick with his tried and trusted troops, which meant playing 6 players who were 21 or under. Now I'm just looking down the list I've got in front of me now. I would suggest that Phil Hardy be one, Mark McGregor, Steve Roberts, Danny Williams maybe. Anyway, didn't matter. But as you can well imagine, Brian Robson, who was manager of Middlesbrough at the time, he went hard. He was going down to win this game, and that was the end of it. So the team that Flynn put out, Kev Dearden, Mark McGregor, Phil Hardy, Brian Carey, Kevin Russell, Neil Roberts, Steve Roberts, Danny Williams, Craig Falconbridge, too many letters for the scoreboard, pain in the arse, and Darren Ferguson, captain. Subs were Gareth Owen, Carl Connolly, Dave Riddler, goalkeeper Walshy, and Andy Morell. Now, Brian Robson, his team, Mark Schwarzer, international, Steve Vickers, Gianluca Fiesta, international, Gary Pallister, international, Robbie Mustoe, Paul Gascoigne, international, Brian Dean, international, Christian Ziege, international, and I think Rickard was, Hamilton Rickard, and Jorginho definitely. His subs, Marlon Beresford, goalkeeper Alan Armstrong, Mark Somerville, Jason Gavin, Carlos Marinelli. So when you put the two sides together, it's going to possibly only end one way, but wasn't to be. Now I'm going on. I've read a couple of match reports and working off memory on this one, so you have to bear with if it's all a bit sketchy. I seem to remember we pushed hard early on, a couple of half chances, well defended by Middlesbrough, as you would expect. But as the half wore on, Jorginho, who was a quality player, he was starting to pull the strings for Borough, and he started to give us some serious problems. And it came to pass, we thought we were going in at half-time at 0-0, happy days, but Brian Dean scored on 43, a deflected pass to him. It was an unlucky deflection, if I remember rightly, and Dean finished with aplomb, as you'd expect, with a player of his quality. Come half-time, and one of the infamous Brian Flynn team talks, along with a vociferous racecourse crowd. The lads were up for it, and they were pushing hard, and we really give Middlesbrough a good going in the second half. Really were. I was sitting on the hoardings at the end of the tunnel, microphone in hand, watching things go on, and I seem to remember the Paddock lads were giving Paul Gascoigne a dog's life. They, from the minute the game started to the minute he went off, they were giving it him in spades. But anyway, I digress. 50 minutes in, Darren Ferguson, slide rule pass out to Robin Gibson out on the left, came inside, drew keeper Schwarzer to finish at the back post with aplomb. And I think after that one, I gave him the tag wing commander, Robin Gibson. It seemed to stick for a while. So happy days on that one. As you can well imagine, Borough came back. They weren't going to take that one lying down. They came close themselves a couple of times. Ziege from a corner, if I remember rightly, and Brian Dean had a couple of good half chances cleared. But on 68 minutes, Darren Ferguson, who'd had a hell of a game, Dad Alex was watching him up in the stands, because his former teammate Brian Robson was manager of Middlesbrough. Danced across the area, leaving a couple of defenders in his wake, and hit an unstoppable shot. This ref, Gavin Schwartz, give you absolutely no chance. As you can well imagine, the racecourse now is absolutely bouncing. Robson made a couple of changes, threw a couple of the bodies up front, but it wasn't to be. Yet another Wrexham AFC giant killing in the bag. But as I mentioned yesterday, after the Lord Mayor Show syndrome, the next round we got Cambridge away and lost 2-1, so that didn't go well. So that is Trilogy Part 2 virtually wrapped up, I think. I'm going to stick in a couple of pictures in various places. One will be the team sheet, one will be the programme, and one will be the match ticket. Right, I'll be back tomorrow with Trilogy Part 3, which will look at Saturday's game and go over the game in the Northeast when we drew up there, and I'll try my best to try and work out the possible permutations for Saturday. It might be too much for my tiny brain, but we'll see what we can do. Have yourselves a great day. I hope this makes some sense, and I'll see you for part 3 in the morning. See you later. I'm just going to explain the thumbnail on this one. I'm doing this as an edit. I forgot to mention it in dispatches. The reason for it, if you remember the first one, all the players in the 73s side were dressed as undertakers. The local press had gone with them, well, they called it a hashtag now, bury the borough. So that was the banner they were leading with, and so the lads dressed as undertakers, and that was the team shot. So when the draw came out for this game in 1999-2000 season, it was decided to do it again. So that is where the thumbnail attached to this video has come from. This will appear at the end of the video because me being a certain age and having a little bit of a senility thing going on, forgot all about it, so I've just tagged it on the end. Have a good day. See you later. Oh, by the way, just putting it out there now, having been let down on a ticket for Saturday, if anybody's got anything spare, please bear us in mind and give us a shout. Much appreciated. Have a good day. See you later.